All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 5 against WhiteRA and DeMusliM on Scrap Station. And at the very beginning right there, you saw WhiteRA do his trademark 2-2-2 probe split. Now, many question whether that is the best way or not to work with the probes, but honestly, I wouldn't really question what WhiteRA has to do, pardon me, because whatever he's doing, it seems to be working out quite nicely. And DeMusliM right here, we've got him just making SCVs. This is the 5th game and the final game in the series between DeMusliM and WhiteRA in the Intel Extreme Masters Cup for the Southeast Asia. Now, again, this tournament is actually held for people in the Southeast Asia realm who do not live in Asia. So it is an interesting tournament to say the least. And we've got WhiteRA Chrono boosting his probe out right after the pylon. Everything is A-OK and right and normal. We've got a supply depot spotting for the first one over here. And then the barracks is going to be placed over here in the same manner as the barracks was placed in the previous match, one of the previous matches, where he actually put the barracks off to the side so that if WhiteRA were to scout the base, he is going to have to take extra scouting time to find that barracks. Maybe think there's a proxy barracks coming, but it looks like so far WhiteRA has not decided to scout, and DeMusliM has not done any scouting either. Instead, they're just going with the regular old builds. DeMusliM is finishing up his refinery. His barracks is almost done, and we've got the gateway going down for WhiteRA. He's building a second pylon, still on 1 gas. This is completely normal. If you look, the gateway is done. Will he build a zealot out of it? We will see. He's got it rallied directly into DeMusliM's base, right on the command center. So he is looking to do some early aggression. There goes the zealot. I'm guessing he's going to do a single zealot, single stalker build like he's been doing in the other maps, but I don't know how effective it's going to be compared to the other maps because, as you may know, on Scrap Station there is an insane walking rush distance between the two maps. You have to go all the way down to this watchtower and all the way back up just to get to your opponent's main. And DeMusliM is building a trademark bunker at the front of the base, which I would guess means he's taking pretty heavily, and he may end up going into a Banshee build, but it just looks like for now he doesn't really feel terribly safe with just 3 Marines and a bunker. He is basically protecting himself against any form of 4-gate push that may come out of WhiteRA, as he has shown in this tournament that he may or may not like the 4 gates more than normal. He did end up using it, and we do see a robotics facility come down for WhiteRA. This robotics facility will open up. Maybe he will do another warp prism drop. He might actually end up taking the island expansion again. Both seem like very, very valid and viable strategies for him. He did a great job in the previous game of taking that expansion, and it ended up helping him and serving him very well in the end. So now we've got a WhiteRA is just coming back to his base. He's got his Zealot Stalker right here, chrono boosting the cybernetics core, trying to get the gateway tag done. A 2-gate robo facility build, so we will be seeing a nice, solid, stable opening to protect himself against the Banshees, which actually may be coming because DeMusliM is currently building his starport. He's floating his factory, which is very common for Terrans to do. They don't really need the factory because they're just building infantry units, Vikings, and medevacs, so the factory really doesn't serve much of a purpose in a lot of Terran versus Protosses in the current metagame. However, some people have been challenging that and building some siege tanks, and a very siege tank Hellion Thor army seems to be maybe the shift of how the metagame's going. But for now, we'll just have these factories exploring, scouting, checking to see what's up. As you can see in the DeMusliM camp, he is actually, for the first time, getting a nice, good peek at what WhiteRA is finally doing. And he's just going to continue, and he's hiding a second starport over here. So I want to see, does WhiteRA know about any of this? Yes, He has an observer. He has seen both of them, but he's still going with the robo facility. So the robo facility, unfortunately, is not very good against banshees. He's going to have to pump out a lot of stalkers, which right now he has 3 stalkers and 1 sentry to fend off all of these banshees. Is he getting cloak? Now DeMusliM is known for getting the 2 starport banshee without cloak, because what he's doing is he's actually getting the banshees to be a staple in the damage of his army. So he's not using them for the cloak or using them, to get 1 hero banshee with 40 kills like most people see banshees use. He's using them as an important part of his army, kind of like an alternative to using Viking build. Now they are heavier on the gas and they are more expensive overall, being 150 and 100 gas as opposed to 150 and 75. So it is more gas and more food and more time, and you can't put a reactor on it either. So he's just going a lot of banshees, and let's see how WhiteRA reacts to this build. Last time he didn't react quite as well, and it ended up hurting him a bit, but he's got a probe scout right up here. He may end up building a proxy pylon to warp in a couple of zealots once DeMusliM thinks about taking an expansion to harass him, but for now it's just going nowhere. And we've got a Templar Archives going down. Now this is a very interesting and very good strategy. See, what WhiteRA is doing is he is actually getting not storm but feedback on the High Templar, because what will happen is, since DeMusliM didn't get cloak on any of his banshees, these banshees are just racking up energy, and like this banshee in particular has 105 energy. Once it hits up to 120, 1 feedback will kill it instantly. So this is a very, very good adaptation by WhiteRA against the build that he saw earlier in the series, and I really, really am intrigued to see how he will play this out and see what advantages he will get out of it. Now he's got the Twilight Council, but he is not researching blink or charge. He's just focusing on getting his High Templar with his gas, taking his natural expansion gas right now, and from here he should be able to build up a sizable amount of High Templar once he gets about 5 High Templar. Oh, there he goes. He's starting to get stormed now, on top of the feedback that he had before. The storms will tear through the Marines even better than the Colossi will, and they will also do a very good number on the Banshees, due to the fact that the Banshees will probably be flying right over the Marines. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. But as you can see, we've got DeMusliM having a little fun doing a cloverleaf build, as he would call it, with the Banshees. And down goes the Observer. The Raven spotted the Observer, and there's no more Observer. And here goes the Pylon by WhiteRA. He is actually gearing up, getting ready to possibly do some harassment, maybe even build a proxy Stargate. I don't think that's what he'll be doing. He's already running multiple gateways and a robotics facility. He's getting a warp prism out of here, and he's researching +1 attack. Alright. Oh, the Mobius reactor is going down. That means we have a ghost facility. A ghost academy is down. So here goes the 2 refineries for DeMusliM. He's planning on taking that gas as soon as possible, and the Ghost Academy will really help out against those High Templar. Now let's see, did he actually scout the High Templar? Yes, he did. He scanned it, so he knows the High Templar are on the field. And here comes the storm and the feedback from the War Prism drop. 1 High Templar, 1 Zealot escapes, but as you can see, all of the Banshees are down to 0 energy, and their health is just in the orange for the most part. Pretty much all of these. Look at this nice little rainbow effect we've got going on with the Banshees. So the Banshees are weakened, and the Marine count is down from that. It doesn't look like it was hurt too badly, but that Warp Prism is really helping out. And what he could do here is he does, let's see, yes, he does have the Kaidaran amulet for the High Templar, so he can just warp them in, and they will have enough energy for a storm. And here he goes. He's going to load this up, and he is going to take this into the back, but it's like DeMusliM is putting his Banshees in line, repairing them all. They are, oh, and he EMPs his own Banshees. Now that is a very, very high level strategy. So what that EMP does is now he can't get feedback. Because if you look, all 8 of these have no energy left in them, and if they get feedback, they'll get hit with damage. So that was a very genius move by DeMusliM, and I really enjoy that strategy. It's remarkable. Oh, here we go. Alright, we've got the High Templar, and we've got more Zealots warping in, and High Templar, but DeMusliM sees it before anything happens, and doesn't really give up. Oh, here comes the Storms on the Banshees. He's hoping for the feedback, but he sees there is no energy left, and the Banshees just clean up no problems. They are very, very weak, but a few SCVs will come back and repair it very soon. And the Warp Prism does escape with 12 hit points. It does not have cargo. Oh, here comes the Viking. Will it get the hit off? There he goes. And the Warp Prism is down. Meanwhile, WhiteRA is taking the gold expansion down at the bottom of the base because the Warp Prism Harass has secured his safety, and he decides to take a little risk and go all the way down to the gold to get the extra resources, because the Banshee, while a very air and mobile unit, if he did go down and attack the gold base of WhiteRA, that would leave this entire path and this path completely open, so that WhiteRA could just come in and just take out the natural expansion, take out the main, before the slower units would have enough time to come back. So that is an interesting decision by WhiteRA, and I really am excited about it. It should be pretty good. And meanwhile, we've got DeMusliM. He's making his command center for his 3rd base, so he's planning on playing the macro game. Right, we've got the army counts. DeMusliM is at 126 out of 126, and WhiteRA is at 131. He does another EMP on his Banshees. He's really keeping up on that. Now, the Ghost, strangely, is not being used for EMP on the High Templar. As you can see, he does have 3 High Templar with full energy. And here comes a nice timing push by WhiteRA. Does he know about the expansion? No, he does not. Here come all the Banshees. The Banshees end up getting stormed. 3 storms. Incredible amount of damage. But the Banshees are coming back. EMP on Raven as well as the Zealots. And the Banshees are softened up by the storm. The Marines, Marauders are getting taken out by the Zealots. And here comes a couple of point defense drones, but it doesn't look like it's enough to actually do anything of real significance. This Warp Prism has barely made it alive. He's going to do some scouting while WhiteRA is making the push into the main. As you can see, DeMusliM is in a bit of trouble. He's down 99 food to 147. Right now he's just trying to get as many Marines and Marauders as he can and get his food up as quickly as possible out of all of these unit producing structures. And as you can see, WhiteRA is taking advantage of the storms that took out all of his Banshees earlier. DeMusliM is no longer making any more Banshees. He is making Vikings to take out the Colossus. The transition from High Templar into Colossus was very, very nice, very smooth by WhiteRA. So as you can see, DeMusliM is trying to fend off an attack. He's got a good flank on these Colossi. He will be able to kill these Colossi, or not kill these Colossi. He'll be able to kill maybe one of these Colossi, while they just end up destroying his base. DeMusliM taps out with the GG. WhiteRA wins the series 3-2. I thank you guys for watching these games. I hope you enjoyed them. Expect more to come. This was a blast, a great time. The Intel Extreme Masters series from January 22nd to 23rd has been going on. Here's cast of the DeMusliM WhiteRA game. Again, I thank you guys for watching this cast. I am Snowball, and see you guys tomorrow.